so expensive, we're staying at room 13. Usually airy and usually very, and that's just how my life goes. And I don't ever try to dress to impress. Fuck you, preppy asshole. On the 14th floor and a bathroom door don't lie. So happy we don't gotta worry about the cops. We could all get arrested for this, but when the body admits I don't give a shit tonight. Alright. Now she walks in the bedroom fast, despite all the noise from the crowd. Now she's bedless on the bathroom sink. Her mother would be so proud. Gets on a deed and there's a line to go pee, but the bathroom looks like a war zone.
Welcome into episode 85 of Phired Up. Look, we're almost at that 100 mark. Another 15 to go, and then we're there. I'm Mike Giletto. Joining me as always is Dom Console. Dom, what's going on, man?
Howdy ho, how are you?
I'm doing good. We are fresh off of an Eagles victory. Big win against the Giants. Victory Monday. That's always nice. Chris Uchea will be joining us at some point. He was stuck doing some stuff, so he will join us hopefully within the next 5-10 minutes. He'll be on. But before we get into all the topics that we have to talk about tonight, I have to tell you about our sponsor. I think I'm supposed to sing this first part, so bear with me here. Tis the season.
Cover your ears.
Yeah, tis the season for clean balls. Fa la 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 la. How do you like that? Our friends at Manscaped are helping you clear your driveway for safe travels this holiday season. From stocking stuffers to white elephants, Manscaped's products are at the top of every wish list. Grab some crop mops for your pops, or the body buffer for your holiday lover. Win this year's white elephant gift and help all the men in your life go from eggnog to nice hog this December by going to manscaped.com and using the code FIREDUP for 20% off plus free shipping. Manscaped is a one-stop shop for your holiday needs. They have the perfect gift in the Platinum Package 4.0, plus loads of other little presents, perfect for stocking stuffers. What better holiday gift than giving the gift of good hygiene and a few laughs? Manscaped offers a handful of their liquid formulations: shampoos, body wash, upstairs and downstairs deodorants, gels, exfoliants, absolutely everything they can need to keep it clean. Don't let their chestnuts roast in the wrong boxers. Get them a pair of the Manscaped boxers specifically made to keep the area cool and provide holiday comfort all year round. Now that you've gifted them the perfect privates, go beyond the groin with Manscaped's full body product line. That has nasty nose hairs? Save his life with a Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer. The Shears 2.0 is the full nail care with scissors, clippers, tweezers, and a file for the traveling man. There's the new Preserve cologne that brings a light, breezy, woodsy feel and gives that fresh tree scent even after the holidays are over. Still using a loofah? Introducing the Body Buffer. Well, loofahs actually hold bacteria from dead skin, help them throw out disgusting old loofah, and get the body scrubber that feels smoother but acts tougher. Lastly, top off the stocking with the crown jewel for their family jewels, the Lawnmower 4.0. The electric razor's advanced skin-safe technology is a life changer and known for reducing nicks and cuts on his Santa sack. Manscaped is here to make holiday shopping a blast by giving products they'll love and making them laugh. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code FIREDUP at manscaped.com. It's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com and use code FIREDUP. Manscaped, for a perfect gift that will be the holidays' biggest hit. Check them out at Manscaped. All right, so we did have a top 5 to do this week. Did you want to wait until Chris came on to do that? Okay. So
yeah, only because last week we waited. You
Yep.
know, I feel like it's good to.
No, I
just
agree.
kinda wait for
Did you have any other topics you wanted to talk about before we did that? I also feel weird diving into the Eagles too without him.
Yeah, for
So
sure. He should be here any second.
He should be here any second. So, is there anything you wanted to talk about and discuss?
Man. I mean, we could go down a couple different rabbit holes here.
We certainly can.
What are you thinking? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, Chris isn't a big Flyers guy. I could rant about the Flyers for a
Yeah,
couple
let's go.
minutes.
Let's go.
I don't even have anything I wanted to really rant about. They lost.
Well, they lose to
lost to Arizona.
Arizona, yeah.
They lost to Arizona, and yeah, I mean, it probably. Oh, wait, you know what? I don't even have to go
Here he
rant
is.
about the Flyers anymore because here he is. Because that's all you have to know is that the Flyers lost to Arizona. Chris is in the
Yo.
building. What's going on,
Yo.
man?
What's up, guys? What's up?
Not
$1 million
much.
question. Did you get a car?
No, it wasn't for me. It was not for me. I was
okay.
for someone else.
Okay. Did they get a car?
They did not.
For,
Okay,
For
good.
someone else, you just gifting out cars. I'll take one.
No, not all that.
Well, it's good to have you on.
I just bought a car a month ago, and
It's
I hate
awful. It's an awful process. You hate
I
the
love
car?
I love the I love the car.
Okay.
This is the first time I have a car payment, so like I hate that part.
That part sucks.
Insurance goes up, you know.
The whole process of like buying a car is painful. Like, Chris, what time did you get there? You probably spent like 4 hours at this dealership, maybe more.
Yeah, we got there at like 5 on the dot.
Yeah, it's about
And
4
I got
hours.
Yep.
It's such a long process.
And especially right now because like so I've been trying to buy since like I started the process in like August, and then I wasn't able to get a car until November because of just there's nothing in stock.
Yeah.
It's starting to get better, but it was a rough like 3-4 months.
Yeah, for sure. Do you guys want to get into the top 5 this week?
Let's do it.
All right, top Christmas songs, and I feel like I have to play one if it'll work. There we go. Just a little set the mood a little bit, because I feel like everybody has this in their top 5, right?
Absolutely.
I do not.
Well,
I do
that's
not,
That's
actually.
a hot take. Dom, why don't you start? Why don't you start us off?
Wait, hold on. My notes is crashing. Hold on.
Well, at least your phone's not dead. That's what I expected.
It's on 10%.
Wow, how does it happen every week?
We do the show the same time.
Oh
every
wait, I got it.
Monday.
Okay, I got it. Well, actually, I threw it on the charger at like 8 o'clock. So
You got 10%
Yeah.
in an hour.
In an hour?
yeah. Listen, it's an old phone. I do not have this song in my top 5, although
a hot
it would be in
take.
my top 10. It would be in my top. I'm very passionate about this subject.
I know
Christmas.
you are. Yep.
So all right, so we'll start off number 5. Listen, I could rattle off like 25.
I'm sure you could.
But you know what? I've been doing the honorable mention thing, and you know what? We're just gonna keep it top 5.
Okay.
Number 5, I have Here Comes Santa Claus by Elvis Presley. Is
Okay.
number 5. Number 4, I have the Christmas song, Nat King Cole.
All right.
Number 3, I have Sleigh Ride by the Ronettes.
Okay.
Number 2, I have Santa Claus is Coming to Town by Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
And number 1, the title says it all. I think from October 31st to January 1st is the best time of the year. But nothing beats Thanksgiving to Christmas. It's the most wonderful time of the year by Andy Williams. That's got to
Okay.
be number 1 for me.
Okay. I like it. I dig it. A lot of interesting options out there.
I mean, there are a ton I could have gone. Like, you know, obviously, like John Lennon. I know somebody. One of you said a couple of weeks ago you didn't like it, but yeah, it's close to top 5. There's a whole list. This was tough.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I was looking at like a list of a whole bunch of songs, and like it was really hard to narrow it down to 5. I don't even love my list, but Chris, did you want to rattle yours off?
Yeah, number 5, I'm going to go, I know it's a little sad, but Blue Christmas by Elvis Presley.
Okay.
For some reason, I just like that song around this time of the year. Number 4, I am going to go with It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. Then number 3, I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus.
Okay.
Number 2, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And then my top favorite is NSYNC, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. That's just my favorite one.
I dig it.
That's off the wall too. Like I wasn't
I dig
expecting that.
No.
No, it's a good song. I just wasn't expecting that from you. I love that actually.
That is awesome. All right, well, I will give my 5 then. So I have number 5, Jingle Bell Rock. Great song. Number 4, I also have I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus by Jackson 5. I almost said Maroon 5. Jesus Christ. definitely not Maroon 5.
I have a funny Maroon 5 thing, but go ahead.
Okay.
this.
And then number 3, Baby It's Cold Outside. Not this woke version out today. I like give me the Dean Martin version. The one the OG, the good Baby It's Cold Outside. Number 2, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, just an absolute classic. And number 1, the song's playing All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey, obviously. And I did want to do one honorable mention because it's a song that like my kids absolutely love, and it's always on around the house during the holidays. Dominic the Donkey. Also, it's a classic. I just had to throw that one out there. It's a staple. It's a staple in this household.
Why couldn't he be like a bear or like a wolf or like something fierce?
You know what?
He's got to be a jackass.
You don't. I forgot. You don't like this song, right?
I loathe it.
Is it okay? Do you loathe it? Do you loathe the song, or do you just hate that the donkey's name is Dominic?
I just hate that he's a donkey named Dominic.
Okay.
He's got to climb the hills of Italy.
It's a great song.
Listen,
though. It's catchy.
It is
fun.
catchy. I love the Italian aspect of it. But he could have been an eagle. Like you know what I mean? Like why have to be a donkey?
They were going.
I know it's like Italian culture. I know.
And they were going for like alliteration, probably like Dominic and D.
I know.
But I guess you could have done Eric the Eagle. There you go.
Yeah, right. Or like Dominic the Dolphin or some shit. No, but like I know like the donkey is like a symbolic thing in
how
Italy,
many dolphins
in
are in
culture.
Italy? I mean, maybe off the coast.
Listen,
I don't know, but you know.
Listen, you never know.
Dude, all I know is I was in Italy, and one morning we're outside eating breakfast, and like a herd of donkey come through.
Really?
Yeah, dead serious.
No, it makes a lot of sense. I just my whole life I've just been you're Dominic the Donkey, like just
it's a catchy, fun song. You're just a hater.
It's real original, like
antique
joke.
My kids love it, so I just had to throw that out there as an honorable mention. One fun thing to another.
Wait! I want to tell you that Maroon 5 thing.
Oh yeah,
quick.
sorry. Go ahead.
Really quick.
Yep.
So you on TikTok, do you guys ever see like those like band things like where it's like the top 5 and you get 5 random, but you have to like put them in order?
Yeah.
Do you ever see those?
Yeah.
So like hypothetically, like it's like 20 different bands, like, and one gets picked, and it's like, say it's like, I don't know, the Rolling Stones. You have to pick 1 through 5, like of your top 5. And somebody got 2 through 5 and they had 1 left. And dude, it was like it was like the Rolling Stones and like
all these legendary bands.
Yeah, Elvis Presley, like all these like legendary bands. And then number 1, they got left with Maroon 5, and they were like, "Oh no!" And then the video cuts. It was hilarious.
Like Maroon's fine. Maroon 5 is fine. They have a couple of nice songs, but like you're not putting them up there with the elite. You know,
honestly, their first album isn't horrible, but you know,
does that have Sunday Morning in it?
Yeah,
that's a great song.
Yeah, it's got all their hits. Like when they actually played music, it's got all their.
Can we settle the Beatles Michael Jackson debate? I had.
We're not talking about this.
Yeah,
we're not talking about.
Okay, we don't have to talk about it. That's fine.
We're not going down this road. It's Christmas. I don't feel like arguing.
Well, no. Okay, I mean that's fair. I
will say this:
the only argument that I had, and some like a lot of it is hyperbole. Like I'm not a huge Beatles fan. I think their music's kind of boring. I respect what they've done for music, but I think I was having an argument with somebody at work that I said I believe Michael Jackson in his heyday was bigger than the Beatles are in their heyday. I don't think that's an insane argument.
No. I actually don't know if you're wrong either. Like that's not the argument that I was talking about. That I don't want to go down that road.
I think the Beatles are overrated, and they're a boy band. Is the argument you don't want to go down?
Yeah, we've already done this. On the show, off the show, a million times.
See what you started, Doug? Damn it!
But I don't know. Honestly, like they were probably similarly
pretty comparable, like, probably.
Yeah, like as amount of or the idea of who was bigger or whatever.
The only reason why I think like the Beatles were bigger is because by the time Jackson was around, like not Jackson 5 Jackson, but Michael Jackson, Thriller Michael Jackson.
Yep.
You know, there was, I guess I want to say like
a ton of pop music. Yeah.
and media was more able to like get around the world versus like the people. Everybody knew the Beatles because that was what everybody talked about.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only way I might give the Beatles an edge over Michael Jackson when it comes to popularity during their times is the worldwide aspect, right? Like
Yeah,
the Beatles
yep.
over there in London, and they're big worldwide sensation. Where Michael Jackson was probably, I mean, he's still worldwide, but not. I don't think he had as big of a reach as the Beatles. It's the only way I could maybe understand the Beatles.
Exactly.
I think it's an argument that nobody's right or wrong.
Sure.
If whichever way you go, I think the Beatles had more of an impact, but that's a whole nother
That's probably fair.
show.
Um,
It's a whole
but
nother hour and a half.
But yeah, I said to somebody at work that Michael Jackson I think was bigger than the Beatles were, and he looked at me like I had 7 heads. I didn't think it was that big of that crazy of an argument. Where I was.
Didn't Michael Jackson buy like most of the Beatles albums?
All of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Masters.
what do you call it? Yeah, like they're
LP.
I forget what it's called. Yeah, something like that. The rights, basically, yeah.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Michael Jackson, and then Apple has it now, but
Because I think they have Michael Jackson's too.
yep.
Okay. Again, we don't have to go down this debate. We can talk about happier things.
If we have time at the end of the show, maybe we'll get into it. But
Okay, fair enough. But let's talk about happier things. The Eagles, just absolute dominance. 48-22 was the victory. I mean, it was just never close.
and that last score didn't mean anything.
Nothing at all.
No, it's just great to see Boston getting. Oh, you're talking about from the Giants.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Boston Scott just getting another one in there.
No, I actually love that.
Giant
I
killer.
love that. Yeah,
He was quiet for most of the game.
Yeah,
he almost had a kick return.
I was gonna say he had a really nice kick return.
I
That
think
was
two.
kind of it.
one he almost took to the house. The other one he got to like the 45 or something.
Yeah. Yep. I tweeted something out about Jalen Hurts, and I don't think there's ever been a player that I was more wrong about than I have been with Jalen Hurts. He's the quarterback for this team, and I know I talk about how I think the word franchise quarterback is thrown around very loosely. I'm getting there.
I'll say this:
I'm getting
there is one person I was more wrong. I was dead wrong about Jalen Hurts, but there is one person that I was more wrong about.
Carson Wentz.
No, well,
On the other side.
no, I was gonna say Markelle Fultz. I thought
Yeah.
Markelle Fultz was gonna be a star.
You were
But,
real wrong there.
obviously the other way around. But yeah,
Yeah.
obviously. What do you mean? Maybe Danny Dimes? What does that mean?
That's probably a call out because weren't you a big Danny Dimes guy?
I was not a big Danny.
You
Dimes
were.
guy,
I'm pretty
no.
sure you were a big Danny Dimes.
There's
guy.
no shot. All I said was Danny Dimes is better than Gardner Minshew. That's all I said. That's all I said.
Big Danny Dimes guy. I get it.
Fucking hate.
He looked terrible on Sunday. Awful.
because he is terrible.
He had no time.
No, well, that's also true. They got to him very quickly.
And early, too. The first series, 2 sacks.
Yeah, 2 sacks. Yep.
First sack on the first play, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dom, who's the player you never finished? Who is it that you're more wrong about?
Markelle Fultz.
Markelle Fultz.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
The other way around. I thought he was going to be great, but he
Right.
sucked.
Yeah. No, it's Jalen Hurts. I think is it for me. Last year I was talking about how awful I thought he was. He sucked, and this year right now he's currently the favorite for MVP. I don't know if he'll win it, and we can have that debate if you guys want. Like if you think he should win MVP, but
right now.
I feel like a certain way, like, and it's not a Jalen Hurts thing. I think it's just like, all right. So going back to Carson Wentz, like his first 2 years I thought were great, and then he kind of went like on a spiral. And I guess and there could be a lot of different arguments. He got hurt, that could have derailed a lot of things, but like mentally. But I love what I'm seeing from Jalen Hurts, but like I just like the Philly fan in me is just like, I can't commit to anybody yet. I have to keep seeing it. It's not a Jalen
For sure.
Hurts thing. It's just a Philly like as much as I loved Carson Wentz. I mean, and Carson Wentz stinks, but like,
yeah, but he
it's
didn't
so
stink
hard for
during
me to commit.
2017. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, like
2016 and 17, he was, we saw how great he was, and then after that he was not good. That's why I'm like, having commitment issues. I'm having
Sure.
like issues committing to anybody, not just Jalen Hurts.
Sure. Yeah. No, that totally. You're having a tough time committing.
How
I
about
can absolutely commit to Trey Turner though.
how about number one pocket passer in the NFL? Did you guys see that?
I did not.
No, I didn't see
He
this.
is the number one pocket passer in the NFL this year.
I just
At the very
rewatched that first drive from yesterday. I mean,
Yep.
some of those throws were just like the one throw to the sideline. It might have been two throws on that drive. One to Watkins and one to Devontae Smith.
Yep.
Were just, I mean, like only 5 guys in the league make those throws. You know what I mean? Like he was unbelievable yesterday. And I was telling somebody in work today too. Like I didn't watch much of last week because I was away. I just obviously on the show from Mike and other people during the week how great Jalen Hurts was last week. That's 2 weeks in a row.
Yep.
Like to look this good.
Yep.
In their last 3 games, they've scored 128 points.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's almost 40 points a game.
Yep. And I don't know if either of you really answered if you think he should win MVP. At this point, like I think it's a 2-horse race between him and Mahomes.
Yeah, you have other people on the back burner like Burrow,
yeah.
Allen.
Yeah, do it for the whole year, and then maybe
absolutely.
I'll put the names kind of in the ring. But to me, right now, it's a 2-horse race between him and Mahomes. Right now, I know Hurts is the favorite. I think Mahomes has a better shot to win right now because I think their stats are very similar, and you could argue. I don't even know if you could argue. I think it's like a stone cold fact. The weapons Hurts is dealing with are a lot better than the ones Mahomes is dealing with, and I think that could play a factor.
Yeah.
I think Hurts is on pace to break an NFL record. It's 4,000 throwing yards and 1,000 rushing yards.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Eagles are going to have 3,000-yard receivers by the end of the season.
Yep.
Devontae, AJ,
and I think Dallas Goedert. He's got the last 5 games. He's got like 600 yards.
Okay. It's possible. It's going to be hard for Goddard. How many games is left? 4 or 5?
5, I think. 5.
Or what's this week? What just passed? Week 13 or 14?
14 just passed. So you got
so they have 4
16,
games
17,
left.
18, 4 games.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So two on the road, 2 at home. It's going to be tough to have 4 straight 100-yard games if he comes back.
Yeah, and
But
especially
he's going to be close. He's going to be close.
And they're not going to play their starter. They're going to clinch.
Right.
And not play their starters.
Yep.
How great would that be if they clinch against Dallas on Christmas Eve in Dallas?
Yeah. Could
That's what it's lining up to be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they almost had a disaster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They sure did.
Yeah. Almost
Christ,
losing to
their
the
fans-
Texans.
Their fans crushing us for having such a close game against Houston. They almost lost. They had to go 98 yards or 90 yards, whatever it was, to beat them.
Drive.
Right. Yeah. And the Eagles really only struggled against Houston.
And then they almost blew it.
Did
Sorry. Yeah. They were almost.
They were
got
down
into-
like the 40-yard line, and I think they threw a bomb up, and I think it was.
I mean, they were.
interception or something, but
What were they up 4? But I mean, they were almost in field goal range. Not that it would have mattered because they were up 4.
they were up 4, right? Yeah.
Still, they were.
They were at like
driving.
the 4. Yeah, they're at like the Cowboys 40, I think, and they had to chuck it up in the end zone. But
not to get too much away from the Eagles. I kind of wanted to bring this up. How do you like? Obviously, the Eagles are the best in the NFC. But I was
don't
also
think it's
having a
close,
discussion
personally.
Well, I was having a discussion today. Does anybody like who do you think their biggest competition in the NFC East is? It's got to be San Fran, right?
The NFC East or the NFC?
I mean, the NFC.
total?
Sorry, NFC total.
I'm like I know they just
Dallas.
I know the Niners just kicked the shit out of the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers suck. And they have this Purdy guy or whatever the fuck his name is. Like even the Niners with their quarterback situation. Okay.
I think
I don't know.
I think before Garoppolo got hurt, they were the only team that had a shot to come here and win in the playoffs. The only team, and I think Garoppolo stinks, but
Yep.
just the system they have under him, I think it's going to be tough for a rookie quarterback to come in and
And I know
win a
he
playoff game
looked really
in January.
I know, but he looked really good against the
For sure.
Buccaneers. So take that for what you will. It's I don't know. I'm not really afraid of them either. And
I think it's Dallas personally. I really do think that. I mean, if we saw them, it would be in the divisional game, right? That would be the first time we saw them. I just think that their offense, and they just added T.Y. Hilton. I don't know if that's like huge
Yeah.
thing, but they do have a scary offense. I wouldn't want to get into like a offensive firing match with that.
Yeah. No, I think if Garoppolo was playing, which he still has a shot, he said he could come back in the playoffs. If I think that's the biggest concern. If he comes back,
the Vikings are in the area too.
For sure.
Like,
no, I
they're in the
think so too.
conversation.
But I think it's Dallas more than anybody right now.
I agree.
I'm not scared of Dallas. I'm just saying I think they're the biggest. Somebody on TikTok said really quick. Somebody on TikTok said today, I can't wait for January when the Eagles play the Cowboys in the playoffs, and it's the third quarter, and it's like, the Eagles are up a touchdown or two, and they close in on Mike McCarthy's fat face, looking so confused, like he always does every January. He's like, and then obviously the Eagles win, but I just thought that was funny.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, their offense is clicking a little more over the last couple weeks. The Cowboys. So and their defense, I think, is still pretty good.
Yeah.
So maybe they're the best or they're the hardest competition, but I still think there's a giant gap between the Eagles and whoever that second team is.
My brother, I think you guys know, is a Cowboys fan.
How the fuck did that happen?
No clue. He told me today that ESPN rankings still has the Cowboys at like a 50% shot of making the Super Bowl, while the Eagles are at like 34.
It's crazy. I don't even care what ESPN says anymore. It's just clickbaity shit. Like
that's what I said to him. I said the same thing to him.
Yeah, it's number one. It's the Cowboys, so that just draws more eyes than any team in the league. So I take zero stock into their analytics or stats or whatever you want to call it. Shuvi asks, is Miles Sanders underrated, or is the O-line making him better than he would be normally? What do you guys think?
I think Miles Sanders is perfectly rated. I think he's a good running back. I think it's a combination
of both.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to say that. I think it's a little bit of both. I think. Look, you saw Jordan Howard run, circles around defenses last year behind this O-line, but I think Miles Sanders, if he were to stay healthy the last few years, he'd probably be as good as he is right now. He's just healthy, so he's able to be out there and play. Show what he can actually do.
With Miles Sanders, real quick, I want to get into a point about him, but did you guys see when he scored the touchdown, he did the Shady dance?
Yeah.
And that was at Shady, because Shady's saying like the Eagles should go get Josh Jacobs and not re-sign Miles Sanders.
Oh,
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
So he did the little Shady dance in the end zone. But I think that offense,
Shady tweeted at him.
Did he?
Yeah. I forget exactly what he said, but he said something along the lines of like he like noticed the dance.
That offensive line is like nasty. It is so good. Did you guys see Mailata pull yesterday from the left side and got all the way around on one of those? Was that like
a sack, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I was watching the game and I'm like, why the fuck is Mailata on the right side?
Yep. Yeah.
Speaking of Mailata, did you guys see the Lions game, the little pass to the lineman? Can we do something like that for Mailata once ever?
With Penei Sewell?
Is that who it was? It was Sewell,
yeah.
Yep. Can we do something like that for Mailata? Just watching that guy run with the football, I think it'd be fun.
They said, well, I'm sure you guys saw that Jalen Reagor before the game said like he guaranteed a Vikings win.
Did he?
Yesterday. And
he's got to keep his mouth shut.
They said Penei Sewell ended the game with more receiving yards than Jalen Reagor did.
All right, so Shady tweeted out the video of him doing the dance, Sanders. My youngin' out here, Shady, bouncing like bro. I don't know what that means, but
that is funny.
That offensive line is. I was actually talking to somebody. Is Lane Johnson a Hall of Famer?
I think it's really close.
I think he's on the trajectory. I mean, he's got a career to play out. If his career ended today, I would say no. But I think if he keeps playing this way for another 3, 4, 5 years, I think so.
I think I agree with that.
do you think the PEDs hurt him?
No, because I think it happened so long ago.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Dom. You probably know this better. But wasn't the supplement that he was on approved by the NFL the year before?
I don't know.
I don't know for sure. Yeah, I don't
I
know.
think he was on like Toradol or something like that. And I remember like it was approved by the NFL the year before. That's why he was using it. I'm not sure, but I think that's the only thing that hurts him. That was a 4-game suspension, right?
Yes.
It was 10, I think.
Well,
I
he
thought
got popped
first
twice.
year was
I think
4.
He got popped twice. It was a 4 and then it was a 10, I believe.
Yeah, it was a 4 and 15, and then Wentz. I think it was Wentz's rookie year. He got the 10 game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think
also too about the offensive line. I think Jalen Hurts makes this offensive line a lot better too, because he's able to get out of the pocket. A guy that could use his legs obviously won't get sacked as much. You know what I mean? Like obviously he's not running into the sacks. I just think they help each other out very well.
For sure.
I'm not taking anything away from the offensive line though. Like they're obviously
totally.
top 3, maybe the best in the league.
Totally. And I'm curious what happens to the line once Kelsey eventually retires. I know Cam Jurgens, everybody likes Jurgens, but it's big shoes to fill.
I think Kelsey's like playing next year. I really do.
Do you?
I do.
I think if they win, it's possible that he retires. But if they don't win, I think maybe he comes back.
Well, wasn't there talk? Like I think it was like confirmed that like last year he was going to retire, and I think Sirianni like talked him out of it essentially.
I think it was more so it was confirmed that he was thinking about it more than anything.
Okay.
Or contemplating it. I don't think it was, I'm going to retire, and Sirianni said, you can't.
Right.
We need you. I think it was just more, I'm thinking about it, and Sirianni said, here's some beer. Stop thinking about it.
Right. But back to Miles Sanders. Speaking of Miles Sanders and Shady McCoy, Miles Sanders, the first 1,000-yard rusher since Shady McCoy in 2014. So that's nice to see.
That's amazing that him and AJ Brown got the same game, both go over 1,000 in the same game. I think it was like play after play, if I'm not.
Yeah, it was very close.
Yeah.
And another weird stat is the Eagles have now had 3 players with 10 touchdowns for the first time ever.
Really?
Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, and Miles Sanders.
And Miles Sanders last year finished with not one touchdown.
No,
Yep.
exactly.
Crazy.
Yep, absolutely.
And then the last 1,000-yard receiver, do you know who that was?
Mac.
1,000.
Yep.
That probably would have been my guess.
2014.
That was the same year. The same year as McCoy's 1,000 yards.
Yep.
Was that Foles year?
Yes. Yep. No.
27 and 2?
No, 13. 2013 was his year. It was the year after. It was Chip Kelly's second year.
I thought they sucked.
Foles got hurt.
Wasn't that?
No, they went 10-6 his first 2 years. There was a year in
2014
between.
they won 10-6. I'm trying to.
Yeah, they went 10-6 his first 2 years. Chip Kelly's first 2 years. Foles got hurt in Houston. He broke his collarbone.
Yeah, Sanchez came in.
Yeah, Sanchez won on Thanksgiving against Dallas.
Yep, Nick Foles played 8 games.
They didn't make the playoffs though. I don't think.
No, they made the playoffs the first year against.
Correct.
Yeah,
they missed.
Yeah, I
They
went to
missed
that
with a 10-6 record. They missed.
Yeah, I went to the Chip Kelly's first year, 2013. St. Nick, the year of St. Nick. They played New Orleans, and Riley Cooper dropped a game-winning touchdown, or a go-ahead touchdown rather.
Right.
He was wide open he had 40 yards of green in front of him, and he dropped the pass. They the final kick, really quick, the game-winning field goal for the Saints. I was sitting in the end zone up top, and they kicked the field goal, and they showed the replay. I don't know who it was. The guy on the edge for the Eagles came up, went in between his hands to block the kick. Yep.
Yeah, it was. So Nick Foles played 8 games. Mark Sanchez played 8. And then, can you name the third quarterback that played in one game through 1 pass attempt, 0 completions? Can you name the third quarterback that year?
Oh boy. Third quarterback that year.
Oh, I got it. Mike Kafka?
No.
Okay, that's a good guess.
Somebody who dominated college. I will say that.
Matt Barkley?
Matt Barkley, yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
USC?
Yep, exactly. What's his comment say? Problem with Lane Johnson, he's only got one first team and 3 Pro Bowls, not enough individual accolades. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but that's why I think if he keeps this up, I think those accolades will come.
I also think the personal accolades are kind of hard for offensive line too. Jason Kelsey, I think I saw the other day. Jason Kelsey is only the 3rd center in NFL history that has like 5 Pro Bowls or something.
Yeah, he's a lock for first ballot Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah, and the other two guys are Hall of Famers.
Yeah, the dude from the Steelers, center Webster was one of them. I forget who the other one was.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think Kelsey's an absolute lock for the Hall of Fame. Like,
You guys remember, like 2 years ago, they were trying to trade him? You remember that?
It was a couple different times in his career.
Yeah, because they were like, I think they knew they were going to be bad that year, and they were going to try and like get him to a winning team that year.
And I think he shut it down.
He did shut it down. Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing that. I just know, like, my guess is even when he does retire, I think he's going to be like a coach or something with this team. Like, I don't think he's going to leave.
I was having a conversation Friday night with a few guys. It's crazy. Like there are only so many Hall of Famers. It doesn't matter what sport you're talking about. There's only a certain amount of guys that make a Hall of Fame, right? Like obviously, like we could sit here and name 100 Hall of Famers, but like that's not a lot compared to the amount of people that play the sport, right, at a professional level. It is so it's crazy enough just to have a kid who becomes a Hall of Famer. Like now you have. It's 2.
Yeah.
Like the Kelsey parents have 2 kids who are going to make the Hall of Fame. Like
Right.
Jason Kelsey could be, or I'm sorry, Travis Kelsey is a top 5, top 7 tight end of all time.
Sure.
Yep.
Who's going to make the Hall of Fame. Jason
Yep.
Kelsey's a top 5, 7 center of all time, probably, who's going to make the Hall of Fame, and they both might be first ballot.
Yeah.
I think
and they could be possibly, and it depends if Eli gets in.
Yeah, I was about
But it
to
could
say
be
that.
they could be the first brothers. to ever get in.
My guess is the Manning brothers will get in first. I don't think Eli Manning's
agree.
a Hall of Famer personally.
Neither do I,
don't.
but I think he does get in.
But I think he'll get in, and who knows how long Travis Kelce's going to play for, and you have to wait 4 or 5 years after you retire?
I think it's 5 years.
5 years, yeah. So he might not get in for a while. I think it'll be the Manning brothers.
I agree.
But I don't think Eli Manning's
that's
a Hall
so
of Famer.
bad
I agree with that.
that Manning will be in the Hall of Fame.
He's got the 2 Super Bowls. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he's an average quarterback in the regular season. He's like the total opposite of his brother. It's weird.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the
His
total
brother
opposite.
might be you could argue his brother's the greatest regular season quarterback of all time, just regular season. And Eli is so average in the regular season,
I know.
and then they just flip in the playoffs.
Yep. Yeah,
It's crazy. I don't understand how it happens.
Yep.
I don't think Archie's in the Hall of Fame, is he?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he was.
I do hear my uncle always says that Archie Manning was a great player, though.
Well, I think his big thing was that he just never was on a good like the
He
Saints
won the
sucked.
Saints. Yeah.
Yeah, the Saints sucked.
They used to call them the Aints, I think, and they used to wear
Yeah.
the bags over their heads to the game.
And it was a lot different then. Like you ran the ball a lot more than you couldn't try to mask it with throwing the ball. So
Yeah.
Um,
Back to the game. We got sidetracked there. That's the thing though. Like with a game that just was never in doubt, there really isn't a whole lot to talk about. Like you don't learn anything new from this game. You just took care of business against the Giants and move on. Is there anything else you guys took out of this game though? That you wanted to
I'm
talk
so
about?
happy Devontae crossed up number 30 for a tutty. He was pissing me off.
Well, to be fair, if this is about 10 years ago, he gets his head taken off.
No, I know.
Like that's a suicide pass I've ever seen one. Even in today's NFL, you could lay a hit like that and get really hurt, like a clean hit. It was a suicide pass. I don't know. It was an interesting choice, but yeah,
No, I
it's-
know. I'm
it
just
was,
saying.
it was good to see though,
Yeah,
for sure.
30 was playing really well yesterday.
Yeah, they came down with the hammer.
Yep, absolutely clinched a playoff spot, which was nice.
Yeah, did you guys hear what Sirianni said about the playoffs? Like he didn't even know. He's like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Well, I think I sent you guys in our group chat the quote of Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
A reporter asked him which is more important to him, the 1,000 yards or the 10 touchdowns, and he says Super Bowl. Like this, that's the thing about this team is they're saying like all the right things. Like I love the mentality of this group. Like I love it, and I think the Sirianni is a start to that. Like that, I think that's where it starts. And you guys know I have my issues with Sirianni, and as a person, just seems like corny and just aloof. He's starting to grow on me a little bit. He's starting to grow on me.
Still hate Bryce Harper though. It's crazy.
I never hated Bryce Harper. Never hated Bryce Harper. But Nick Sirianni is growing on me.
I just thought it would be Harper first. That's all.
I love Harper. Where is this coming from? I don't understand.
So last week, I mean, you guys know, but I'm just going to talk about it. I did have like Rodney McLeod come into my building
Yep.
and do a little foundation thing. So Darius Slay was there, right? He's just like chilling, hanging out. And I'm walking by, like getting laptops and stuff for these kids. And he's talking to Rodney McLeod's wife. And he says, straight up, don't worry, when we make it to the Super Bowl, we'll make sure we fly you out there.
That's funny.
And then
I like that. I love that.
I was going to tell you guys this story too. This might be the funniest story that I've ever been around. I'm standing there. I just helped Jordan Mailata buy an Oculus.
Okay.
Super nice dude, super cool.
These are
Rodney
the
McLeod,
VR. These are the VR headsets, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The way he does his foundation, McLeod, is like he gives each family $500 gift card and like, this is what you got. So there was a kid who was like, yeah, I really want to get this Oculus, but like I have younger brothers at home. Like I'd rather just, so he goes and buys it for the kid. Like a super nice thing to do. As he's walking in line, there's a guy that turns around at the self-checkout. It's like, can I talk to you for a second? And being the nice guy that Jordan is, the guy says to him, you're blocking completely wrong, dude. He said, you got to shoot your hand first and bring your feet with you. And Jordan Mailata turns around, I swear to God, he goes, really? He's like, because stab me, I'll get my feet there first and bring my hands next. And he's like, no, you got to get your punch first. And he's standing there like doing this in front of everybody. Jordan's like, I was like, I'll keep that in mind for the next game. So this
I was third all city Catholic, in high school.
Yeah,
I know what I'm talking about.
His highest level was Pop Warner. Like,
Yeah.
It was a funny thing because
Guy played for Newman Goretti.
he like played with the dude, you know what I mean? Like he didn't like think of himself as like, I'm not like walk away. Like he was like, really? Because I thought, they teach me to move my feet first.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna bring that up to Jeff next meeting.
Yeah.
Some guy at Target told me I'm not buying.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? You think he's right?
They're team all Catholic.
Oh, that's great. I love it. Philly fans, we're a special breed, aren't we?
Like just to even like stop him and tell him he's like what? What would you guys say? Like he's like a top 10 tackle, right or left?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Tell him he's doing his job wrong.
Doing it wrong.
gives up one sack every year. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I love it. Oh man. All right. What do you guys want to talk about? Because now I'm sidetracked.
Well, I obviously Chris was on the show last week. I wanted to get his thoughts on Trey Turner.
Yep.
Oh, I love it. That's such a great move.
Yeah.
I think he fits the team perfectly, and I think like defensively they just got so much better too.
Where would you put him in the lineup? Because I've seen way too much shit about Schwarber still leading off. Where do you put Turner in the lineup?
First. He should bat first.
Yeah.
And as much as I'm on that with you guys, like I agree. They also did make it to a World Series with Schwarber leading off. Like it not that it doesn't work.
The World Series is a little fluky. Like, is that fair to say?
What do you mean?
Luck involved in the World Series. Like,
I mean,
is that fair?
but every team gets lucky. It's not. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
Yeah. No.
it's
Totally.
half of it's luck, half of it's skill.
Sure. Absolutely. I agree.
My preferred lineup would go, and this is with Harper back.
Yep.
So Turner first, JT second, third Harper, and then I think fourth I would put Schwarber.
That's what I had. Yeah, that's what I had too. But to be honest with you, like I'm fine with either of them 1-2. I really am.
Okay.
And it kind of sounds like from Turner, like I would prefer Turner to lead off, but like it kind of sounds like from his press conference that he's probably going to hit second,
Yeah,
or at
I
least
agree.
start off hitting second.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, I still think it's a mistake, but
And what I did like to hear from him, obviously a guy who's been in the league a while, he wants to hit in the same spot every day.
sure.
So as long as they keep that going, and if they're winning games,
Which I mean,
you
Rob
know,
Thompson's shown he's going to stick with a lineup. He doesn't go away from a lineup
Yeah.
often.
well, we kind I mean, we kind of saw that in the playoffs. Like you can't switch it up in the playoffs, especially if you're in a
Sure.
World Series. Like
Sure, yeah.
I also think that move. I know how like it they probably don't correlate, but I do think that Bryson Stott just got so much better. I
Sure.
just think like now he knows like I'm an everyday second baseman. Like I just need to get on base. Like let the team knock me in. There's no pressure of me like going deep or anything like that. Work counts. Even if he's your 8 or 9 hole hitter, which is fine, to turn the lineup over to Turner on the other side, like it's not Hoskins that's going up there. I also think Hoskins should move to like 6th. So I think that's where I would put Reese.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I don't know if you listened to the show last week. I think I had Turner 1. I actually had Bohm number 2. Harper 3. Either Schwarber or JT 4-5. Then I think I had Hoskins 6. Then who am I missing? 7, 8, 9. Stott, Marsh, and who am I missing?
JT.
No, I said
Do you
JT.
have JT in there?
Yeah.
Castellanos.
Castellanos. Yeah, I think I had Castellanos, Stott, then Marsh, I think is what I had.
You had Castellanos batting 7.
Yep.
I don't know if they're going to pay a guy that much money to bat 7th.
7th or 6th, what's the difference?
I agree. I think he should have 5th, but
Yeah, then
What's
he moved
Grace?
it. I mean, the problem is I have Bohm number 2 when a lot of people probably don't. But I think he hits the ball well enough and he gets on base enough that I feel like my objective is to get people on base for guys like JT and Schwarber to hit him in. I'm tired of Schwarber hitting solo home runs. He does nothing.
Well, okay. So there's an argument to that kind of. Let me go to the Bohm thing first. I think that Bohm sees better pitches at the 6, 7, 8 hole, whatever the 7
Sure.
hole really.
Yeah.
I think he sees better pitches. We talked about that last week. The 7, 8,
Yep.
9 are going to see so many pitches.
Which is another
So I
reason
think it
have
benefits him
Castellanos
better
at
at 7.
Sure.
But well, also too the Castellanos thing. Okay, so in what was it, April? The first month of the season, he was crushing that pitch that he was striking out.
Yeah.
And from May on, like that low and away, he was crushing that pitch. And then when he got hurt with quotations in May, when he got hit on the hand, everything kind of just blew up. But anyway, I think Bohm sees better pitches at 7. That's why I start him off at 7. And then what was the other thing I was saying? The Schwarber thing, leading off. He really only leads off once a game. Like it's only gonna be once a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Yes, technically he's going to lead off once a game, but I would rather have guys ahead of him like Turner, Harper, JT even. I'd rather have those guys ahead of him so this way they're on base. Like if the bottom of the order,
Ahead of Turner.
Marsh, no, ahead of Schwarber.
I'm
If Schwarber's batting 1,
I
then
got you.
in front of him you have Marsh, you have Stott batting in front of him.
Yeah.
Where less of a chance those guys get on base. Where I'd rather Schwarber be behind guys like Turner and Harper, and so this way he could drive those guys in. He could hit home runs with guys on base instead of hitting out of his 45 home runs. 35 of them are solo shots. I'm just pulling that number out of my ass. I don't know what the actual number is, but that's just my.
I hear
that's
you.
just my feel.
I don't, like I said, I don't disagree. I just I don't know. Maybe they do see better pitches and they do get on base. Like you never know.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm okay with either, to be honest with you. Like whether it's Turner and Schwarber 1, 2, or at least Like I wouldn't hit Schwarber second. Honestly, I would either hit him 1 or 4.
Yep.
I know that's kind of crazy,
yeah.
but
Yep, I agree. But speaking of moves, I guess we can kind of move into the next topic. Taiwan Walker, 4 years, $72 million, I believe. It's a pricey contract for a number 4. I think it's a lot of commitment. 4 years, like over $18 million per. I wasn't in love with it, but I understand what they have to do.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I think they call up Taiwan Walker and say, "Listen, we want you for 2-3 years, maybe. We'll give you your money, or we'll give you maybe we won't. Maybe we won't give you as much as you want if you take that 4th year or whatever. I think the Phillies probably wanted him for shorter, with a bigger number, and he wanted more years and he probably took a couple dollars off, but." I like Walker. I mean, Walker's a nice 3-4 guy.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
He probably is a little bit better than Eflin.
Yeah, no, he probably is. It's just it's a guy that's coming off of probably the best year of his career in a contract year. That always scares me.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think again I just think it's crazy the amount that these guys are getting paid nowadays, though, for a 4 guy. Like, what did Kyle Kendrick make in his prime? $2.5 million a year, $3 million.
Yeah, but he's way better than Kyle Kendrick.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like a four back then.
Yeah, I know.
I also just saw that the Yankees are getting ready to make an offer to Carlos Rondon. So
Yeah.
But
I think the Giants just signed what's his name? Sean Manaea.
oh really?
Yeah, so that's another guy off the
Yeah,
list.
I think they're going to go with Painter.
Bassett just got signed as well.
Yep, Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Blue Jay, yeah.
He was just in Philly on Friday.
He was. A lot of speculation. A lot of people thought
Yeah.
maybe he was in town, for a signing, and turns out he was in town for a wedding.
Yeah. I would have loved the 6-man rotation. You wouldn't have to rush. You wouldn't have to rush Painter.
Yeah, but that's a lot of. If you go out and get a guy like Bassett and you have a 6-man, like that's a lot of money.
I'm gonna hit you.
to
I'm gonna
spend
hit
for
you.
a
I'm gonna
6-man
hit you
rotation.
exactly what you always say to me. It's not my money, baby. It's not
Fair-
my money.
Fair enough. You also have to give up 2 extra draft picks if you go with Bassett.
No, for sure. But I think Bassett and I think Rendon are worth it. Honestly,
I agree.
you're trying to win. You're trying to win.
I agree
Also,
with you.
to Nola, and we saw it last year. Nola and Wheeler, and I'm sure every other pitcher in the league is way better on an extra day of rest.
Sure. Then and I would have rather Bassett or Rodon over Taiwan Walker.
Well,
Like,
yeah, I think a lot of people would.
Yeah, I mean, even with the giving up the 2 extra draft picks.
I mean, those guys are number 2, number 2 guys, like in a rotation. Both of those guys. Maybe Bassett's a 3.
Bassett didn't get that much more than Walker.
He's probably older though, isn't he?
Maybe a couple years.
Yeah, but I think he's better than Walker.
Oh, I agree 100%. Yeah, he got 3
Yeah.
years. I think it was 3 years, $21 million per year, whereas Walker got 4 years, and
72?
Around 8,
Or
a
74?
little over 18 a year.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. I was watching highlights from the playoffs today, and I can't wait. Just watching that Harper homer off the Padres, send us to the World Series just gives you goosebumps,
Yeah, I can't. I think, and the smartest thing that the Phillies did was that Turner move. At least from like an ownership standpoint, Turner's going to be able to bring people to the ballpark. Not that people aren't going to go, but with Harper being out, I think they were like, not that solely made their decision, but it's a good financial decision too. So, like, I want to go to opening game just to see Trey Turner play.
well,
No, me
again,
too.
Me and Dom talked about it last week. What do you think of the 11 years, Chris? I mean,
But
Yeah, go ahead.
That's like what the going rate is, right? Like Harper, 13 years.
Harper
Trout,
was 20. Harper was 26, not 30, like Trey Turner's or
yeah,
29.
what did Trout
whatever it is.
sign?
Yeah, but they're going to end at the same age, around
Yeah,
the same age, a year apart.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's
What
fair.
did Trout sign for? Like 11 years?
It was like
think
I know it
his
was like
14.
450,
so-
right?
Yeah, so that's, I think like when you're that big of a player like those guys are, I think that's what they want stability now at their career.
Trout signed a 12-year deal, $426 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a steal Harper was.
Oh,
Yeah.
totally.
Look at that. What was
Somebody
Harper?
said,
13, 330?
yeah.
Yep.
Somebody said I can't wait for Ohtani to sign a $400 million contract with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
He's
Not to
getting
change
more-
the subject.
He should get more than that.
Well, yeah, he's more valuable as a pitcher and a
Yeah,
hitter.
he's two roster spots in one, and like not only is he just okay at those things, like he could win a
Yeah.
Cy Young and a batting title. Like
Yeah.
he's crazy, he's ridiculous.
I'm actually going to take a little bit of a hot take. I think he's overhyped because he as a pitcher at least, because
I
he
agree
does,
with that.
because he does both.
I've said it. I've said it the last few years. And listen, Ohtani had a great year. He arguably did he? Who won the MVP? Was it Judge? Arguably an MVP. You could argue he's the MVP. I think if he focused on hitting, he'd be a way better hitter than what he is.
Yep.
Or if he focused on pitching, I think he should focus on one, and he would be so much better at that. I don't know.
He had a 2.33 ERA this year.
What is
Yeah,
his
2.33,
No, he's really good.
and his career ERA is under 3, 2.96. I mean, that's talking under 3. I mean, you're an ace.
I just think that it's like overhyped, if that makes any sense, where it's like every time, he had a 6 strikeout game and hit 2 home runs. Like,
But they
like,
lost.
Yeah, I just feel like
Not that it's always his fault, but
because he does both, like anybody could have a 6 strikeout game, but they romanticize him as a pitcher.
Well, because he could also go out there and hit 40 home
That's
runs.
what I'm saying. I think that he's a better hitter. I'm kind of there with Dom. I think it's just the hype around him.
I think
Also,
he's
too-
I think he's a
also,
special
too-
talent on both sides of the ball.
I mean, but you crush Mike Trout for having the same numbers. Like he's had over 100 RBIs one time, Ohtani, and it was 100. Like
Sure,
you get
yeah.
upset that Mike Trout is considered the best in baseball. It does the same thing.
Well, no,
Exact
well,
same thing.
no, I don't crucify Trout for people saying he's the best in baseball, because at times you can even argue now he's one of the best players in baseball. That's my issue. People say Mike Trout is the greatest baseball player in the history of the sport, and I think that's insane.
I agree with that. I'm just saying, hold on. I'm trying to look up his stats, but I can't type it with one hand.
You got two. That's why I got two hands, Tom.
Well, I got one with a microphone.
Well,
It's a little tough.
that's why you have a mic stand. That you
I know, but I don't have a rubber band. So we can keep going back and forth. But
Yeah.
His
Rubber
phone's
band,
gonna
rubber band
die
costs a
before
nickel
mine.
nowadays, right?
I have 1 million at work. I just never bring them home.
Okay. That's your homework for next week.
I mean, honestly, like Trout's had better numbers as a hitter.
Sure, yeah, no doubt. But like the fact that Ohtani is again 2 roster spots but 1 player, well, 2 players but 1 roster spot. Like he does both. Like he's an
I
ace
understand
and
that.
he can hit 40 home runs. Like
I understand that. I mean, it really hasn't paid off for them, but
because they're the Angels.
I know what
That's
you're
the
saying.
Angels do.
I'm just saying I feel like you. I know you're saying that Mike Trout is a great player. He's probably the best in the game or one of the best, whatever. But you've complained a lot about Mike Trout before, and honestly, like Trout's
because
probably
people say
better.
he's the greatest player of all time, and that's insane.
That is insane. I don't think that
It is insane. I don't think it's anywhere near true.
But
I'm
you've
just
heard
saying,
people say that, right? That he's
Of
one of
course,
the greatest to
of
ever play the
course.
game, which
Yeah.
again is crazy.
Of course. I'm just telling you that you've told me and on this show how much you think Mike Trout is overrated. I'm just telling
I
you.
think he's a little bit of a fraud, yeah. Maybe fraud's
Okay,
the wrong word.
but
Maybe
he's
fraud's
he's
the wrong
got better numbers than Shohei Ohtani.
Okay,
He's a career 303 hitter. So
when-
Shohei Ohtani is.
okay.
Hold on.
Come back to me when Mike Trout's throwing a 2.33 ERA.
Come back when either of them do anything. I
fair,
hear you.
fair. I don't care about the Angels. Fair. We can move on. We can move on.
Did you
Ohtani's a
guys-
267 hitter.
He can hit 40 home runs.
So could Trout, but hit 303. That's what I'm saying.
And Trout is not throwing a 2.33 ERA.
Okay, so then maybe Ohtani should just be a pitcher. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just
Why?
saying.
He could do both.
Dude, eventually I think you can't do both because
Why?
the
He's
other
done
guy
it.
who did it couldn't do.
He's done it.
Babe Ruth. What do you mean?
No, I'm saying he's Otani's doing it. So why can't he do
I
it?
know because in 5 years his body's probably going to break down way
Sure,
worse
and
than what it is. That's what I'm
to
saying.
be fair,
It's not gonna last forever.
And yeah, sure. And to be honest, I'm surprised he hasn't had more injuries because I know the first couple years of his career, he had some tough time with injury. I think he had Tommy John, I believe. So he's
I don't
had
know about
some.
that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had Tommy John. And I know that he because there was a stretch of time where he wasn't pitching, he was just hitting because he was doing the Tommy John rehab. He was just
He played
DHing.
110 games his first 2 years combined,
Sure, yeah.
which Trout has also had a lot of trouble staying
When
healthy
he was
the last
younger,
few
I don't
years.
think.
too.
I don't think he really was. It's
I'm saying the last few
as
years.
he's getting older. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's had like back issues and yeah. But
I'm just saying this guy, his first 3 years hit 22, 18, and 7, and everybody was saying he's the greatest thing that's ever,
well, because we haven't seen that in 100 years. Somebody that can go out and also pitch.
That's
But I don't
what
care
was
about
saying.
22 home runs. I don't care about
That's what I
22
was
home
saying.
runs.
It's overhyped. He's just overhyped.
Okay.
Like,
Not that he's not a good
it's like Mike Trout. But it's like Mike Trout. All these people are saying Mike Trout hits 46 and 107, whatever it was, and he's not even close to being the best of all time that people compare him. Okay, but people were saying that about Ohtani after his second year. He hit what's 22 plus 18. I don't know. I'm not a math guy, but that's his first 2 years of home runs. He hit 61 and 62 RBIs his first 2 years. He's the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's a great player, but
No,
he's nowhere near it either.
Hold on, that's easy math. 22 and 18.
I'm just ranting.
It's 40, Dom. It's 40.
That's not
what-
41.
No, it's not.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Jesus Christ. You had me
I'm
thinking I
fucking
was
around.
Going, you had me thinking I was going crazy.
That was the reason. I did it because I wanted to make
You
you
guys are
feel
both wrong. 18 and 12, you said?
20,
18 and 20.
Oh, I thought you said. I was going to say it's 30.
No, 22. Did you guys have anything else for the Phillies? Because we actually totally forgot to do against the spread.
I mean, we could talk about Phillies, but let's hit the spread.
Okay.
Why is my notes crashing?
Probably because your phone is dying. Well, you
My
guys are
phone
getting,
is always dying. It's
Well,
never done this.
Yeah, I know. Okay, fair enough. Week 14 obviously passed us. I went 1-4 on the week. Dom, you went 0-5. Another 0 for a week. 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
That's not good. You've gone 0-10 the last 2 weeks. It's not good.
Good thing I didn't put any money.
Yeah. Chris, you're 1-3 this week. You have the game tonight. I forget what game you have or who you have. Who do you have? Let me
I think I
see.
took
You
the
have the
I feel like
Patriots
every
minus
week-
1.5.
I feel like every week you have the Monday night game.
Every week he does the Monday night games. Every week, it's crazy. So that brings the yearly totals. I am 28-42. Dom is 32-38 after those last bad 2 weeks, and then Chris is 33-36. So we
All under 500.
All under 500. We have 4 weeks to play. We'll see what happens. Who wants to start us off?
Let me go because my phone's gonna die.
Of course it is.
Colts, Vikings. I got the Vikings -4.
All right.
This is gonna be the second week in a row. I think I took the Vikings last week. That the Vikings trashed me.
Yep.
I
I had the
got
Vikings as well last week.
I got the Eagles at Bears. Eagles -8.5 because I just don't ever take them and they always hit. Cowboys at Jags. Cowboys -4.5.
Okay.
And then Lions Jets over 44.5. Imagine if I said that last year. Oh,
Lions and who are they playing?
Jets.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
And then Bengals Bucks over 43.5.
Okay.
I'm feeling a 4-1 week over here.
We'll see, because you desperately need it.
I got Atlanta -4 at the Saints.
Okay.
The Jets +1 versus Detroit.
Really? Okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Philly -8.5 at Chicago. Over 48.5 Kansas City and Houston. And over 42.5 Buffalo and Miami.
Sorry, I'm on the Kansas City. It's over 48.5.
Yep, and then over 42.5 Buffalo and Miami.
All right.
I'm kind of mad I didn't pick that one. Well, they said it's going to snow.
Yeah.
It's like 7 inches or something, so that's a tough one. Maybe that's why it's so low.
Probably, right? Did you guys see that they said that the Dolphins brought heaters with them? Where did they play this week?
They played last night, right? The Chargers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
right.
brought heaters with them because it was like 55 degrees in LA.
Jesus.
What are they going to do this week in Buffalo?
Right.
What
Yeah, I
the?
don't
They're
know.
gonna need blowtorches. Like they're gonna melt the freaking ice or the snow.
We're gonna need blowtorches.
When I went to LA, it was really cold. Like it was actually like really chilly. It was April. But like that's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chris dropped
he's
out.
gone.
Yeah. We went out to San Diego. This was years ago, and it was like the cold. It was in August too. It was like the coldest August they ever had. The sun went down.
Jesus.
It dropped to like 45 degrees in
Jeez.
August. It was freezing. I guess I will do my against the spread. I don't know if Chris is coming back or what's the deal there, but my against the spread. I also have the Vikings -4 against the Colts. I just think they'll bounce back after a bad loss to the Lions. And then I got the Dolphins and the Bills. I have the Dolphins +7.5, especially if there's snow and things like that. 7.5, a lot of points. It'll be a close game. And then I have the Chiefs and the Texans. I'm gonna fuck around and take the big favorite -14, the Chiefs. And then I have the Titans and the Chargers under 46.5. I feel like both offenses kind of suck. Cowboys Jaguars over 47.5.
Okay.
So those are my 5.
If there was ever a lock, and I'm just talking like gambling purposes, not for our against the spread, but like if there was ever a lock, it was this past week with Houston and Dallas. Dallas being Houston being +17 or 17.5, whatever it was.
17 points. Yep.
I mean, come on.
Yep.
That was a lock.
Yeah, I almost took them on against the spread last week. I should have. I
Yeah.
almost did.
So did I. Almost.
Almost.
Would have won.
Almost. Anything else you want to talk about? What do we got? Sixers talk? Do you care about the Sixers yet? Not really. Wait until Doc gets fired.
I am watching here and there. Obviously it was a shitty. I mean, they beat the Lakers on Friday night. I didn't really watch the game because I was not home. But obviously, they win in overtime. They probably shouldn't have gone to overtime, but they pull it out. Embiid, closes it out. And then what they play last night, Sunday night, they played Charlotte, and Embiid dropped 53. I think it was
51 was the last total I saw. I don't know what the final.
I think it was 53.
It was it 53?
Yeah. It was. He is now the fastest player. 246. I don't know if it's games. Yeah, 246 games. To a 30 plus 10 rebound plus a game or games.
Yeah, I think he edged Shaq by like 3 games.
It was like 3 or 4 games. Yeah, I think Shaq had 349 or 249, and he beat at 246 or something.
Yeah, 53 points, 12 rebounds last night.
Yeah. So the fastest player ever to have 30 plus and 100 or 10 plus rebounds.
Really?
Yep. 246 games.
It's interesting.
The guy's
So,
a
yeah.
monster.
Yeah, I have a little bit of issues with this team, but
A little bit?
yeah. I mean, it's just the NBA in general. Like, he's not going to show up until January, so like, you're kind of starting to see like this happened last year. Like, the first 2 months he had COVID and he was sick and he was in and out. And then once January came and the season kind of started to pick up a little bit, he started to show up, and so we're starting to kind of see that. But
I mean, I know the NBA season doesn't really get going until February, March, April, but like they're like a 500
it's too long.
team. It is, but they're a 500 team right now. Like they gotta figure it out soon, because if you have a guy like Joel Embiid as good as he is, you can't
You're wasting his prime.
Yeah, like the standard should be higher than 500.
I don't disagree with you either. I think this team has real issues, but it's kind of also like the whole East too, or really the NBA. More so the East. Like the Nets are not playing well right now. I think the Bucks are playing pretty well. I mean, they don't. It's December, so they don't scare me yet. But it's a lot of these teams in the East that are supposed to be good are kind of just playing okay. But that just could be because it's December. The season is too long. They should start in December.
Agreed.
I agree.
Start on Christmas Day.
I don't know, but Christmas Day might be a little. I don't know. I guess it depends. I wouldn't start on Christmas Day and end in June. I would probably start in the beginning of December and end in June. But
right.
I think October's way too early.
Agreed. Agree 100%. Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah,
fair enough. What else you guys got? Anything else before we get out of here?
I think Shuvie had a Flyers question.
Did he?
It was Morgan Frost, or he brought something up.
Let me see. Where is it at?
It's on top of the Lane Johnson. Yeah.
Yep. Is Morgan Frost the biggest upside for the Flyers? I like the way he's playing, despite the team playing poorly in tight games. He had a good game against a bad Arizona team inside a college stadium when there's not many people watching him. I need to pump the brakes on Morgan Frost. I haven't really seen anything from Morgan Frost other than Sunday night's game against the Coyotes. And he looked really good. He did look phenomenal in that game. I need to see more.
I was, and I will say this, as somebody who, I think there are times where you, and we all do it, but I think there are times where we've overreacted to players and stuff like that. But I actually think you've been pretty patient with Morgan Frost too.
Sure. Yep.
And obviously last week, you kind of said that he wasn't your favorite guy right now. He's kind of.
I think I said literally, I'm done with Morgan Frost. I think it was my exact words.
So I will give you credit there, but I haven't watched enough of the Flyers. Honestly, I probably watched more of the Flyers than the Sixers. Honestly,
yeah,
if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and the Flyers. I mean, they're not good. They're going to be in the running for a really good draft pick, and this is the year to do that. To be in the top 3, because
I was gonna say the top 3 or 5 is really good, right?
The top 3 is tremendous. There's obviously a lottery, so you don't necessarily have to finish at the very bottom. I don't think they will finish at the very bottom because Anaheim is awful. Anaheim is terrible. Who else is down
the
there?
Flyers aren't much behind that though.
The Anaheim, they're pretty far, I think, if I remember correctly. I'm pulling up the standings now.
Well, the Flyers only have 13 wins, right? Or 8 wins or whatever. Well, I don't even know. I'm just making it up.
Yeah, the Flyers are 9, 13, and 7, 25 points total. The Anaheim Ducks are last place, 7 wins, 18 losses, 3 overtime losses, 17 points.
Okay.
So the Flyers have 25, Anaheim is 17. Anaheim's terrible. They really are.
Do you think if it's between Anaheim and Philly, they're they say, all right, we got to give the pick to Philly because because it's an East Coast. I mean,
sure,
Anaheim's not LA, it's not the Kings. You know what I mean? Where
right,
the Kings can really help the league.
Yeah,
I'm just curious. I don't know,
but at the same time, the team at 31 right now is Chicago, and I think they'd like Chicago to be good again.
Of course,
but I also I like to think that they don't rig the lottery personally.
Well, I think if it's Chicago, Philadelphia, New York, LA, I think
I'd listen.
They probably rig it the least, honestly, NHL, but NHL. But I think if they really, really had to,
listen. I don't need to see Chicago win another NHL lottery again.
I hear you.
I
hear you.
still have nightmares about 20. What was that? 06?
Yeah.
07? Something like that.
06, yeah, I think it was 06. No,
Patrick
it might have been 07. Giroux, I think it was 06. I think it was 07, yeah.
Yeah, Patrick Kane going 1, and JVR goes 2 to the Flyers.
Yeah.
Patrick Kane would have been really nice. So, but yeah, no,
And that's all on the wound. He scores the game. The
Game winner.
Stanley Cup clinch.
game winner in
Yeah.
2010. Yep. But no, I mean the player at the top of the draft, Connor Bedard, is just the best prospect since Connor McDavid. Like it would be incredible to get him. It's hard to bank on that happening because it's just such a low percentage of that happening.
What about the other two guys? Who were the other two guys?
So Mitchkov is a guy has elite talent, close to Bedard. The issue is he's Russian, and with players coming over from Russia, who knows when he'd come over? Essentially,
Yeah.
that's the biggest question mark. And then the third guy is Fantilli. Fantilli, I think it's Fantilli. That's how you pronounce it. He's a college kid. He's nasty too.
Wow, we might have to bring the Italian kid in. That's nuts.
Fantilli, exactly.
Yeah.
Fits
right in.
with Tortorella here, exactly.
Yeah.
D'Angelo, it's a bunch of Italians we got on this roster.
Love that.
Yeah, exactly.
Are they both forwards or?
Yeah, they're all forwards, all three of them.
Okay. I knew Bedard was, but I didn't know about the other two.
Yep. They're all the dynamic forwards. They're nasty. So hopefully you can land.
And then you
one of
add them with Goudier. So
Cutter Gauthier. You're not even saying
Gauthier, that's what it is. I thought it was
God damn
Goudier.
No, Gauthier. Cutter Gauthier, which is
Okay.
a great
No,
hockey name.
I'll get that. I'll get it eventually. I just
Yeah. It's a great hockey name.
Yeah, of course.
Cutter Gauthier. He's nasty. I don't know what his absolute ceiling will be, but I think he will be a very good player. We talked a little bit about him last week. I think, right?
Yeah. Blake Wheeler, you kind of you've compared him to. That's my favorite thing too. It's the size. I just
Yeah, he's got size mixed with skill, which is nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm watching Flyers games. I'm excited to just watch hockey because it's my favorite sport. I've said it before, but
And
yeah,
I mean,
we'll see.
let's say hypothetically they do get the number 1 pick and they bring Bedard in. I mean, how much does that do for this city and that franchise? I mean, I think them and the Sixers are interchangeable when they're bad. When they're bad.
Yep.
At the 3-4 spot. I personally I think the Eagles are 1 and the Phillies are 2 in this town.
Sure.
I think the Flyers, like I said, the Flyers and Sixers are interchangeable. During those 08, 09, 10, 11, 12 years, the process leading into the process years, I think the Sixers were the number 4 in the city. The Flyers were number 3, obviously going to, a couple Eastern Conference finals and stuff like that. It does a lot for this city, man. It really does.
Sure.
If they could bring a guy like him in and that just, I'm not going to say he's going to change because he could end up being a bust, but the potential to change a franchise, a guy like that, to bring hockey back in the city, I mean, it's going to change a lot of things. It's going to make a lot of these guys like Owen Tippett, who is a nice player. He's a nice player, but it's going to make him better. It's going to make, I don't know. Who else is I can't even I don't think Kevin Hayes is an okay, he's a good player, but we know what he is, you know what I mean, guys
Travis Konechny.
Well, I think we know what Konechny is now too.
Konechny's playing the best hockey I've seen him play in a
of course
while.
of
Yeah,
course
he
of
looks
course
great.
But I'm just trying to think of guys
Just
who've
Joel
been in the
Farabee.
league 2-3 like Joel Farabee,
Yeah.
guys that have been in the league 2-3 years where we just kind of do they have another gear? And I think
Yeah,
a guy like that or one of those other two guys really could
for sure.
change things.
And yes and no. There's still a lot that needs to happen with this roster.
Of course.
The most consistent. The weird thing about this year so far is the most consistent thing when it comes to there haven't been any injuries. The defense has been the most consistent part of this team, and was supposed to be the most steady and the best part of the team. And the defense is an absolute train wreck. They all suck.
D'Angelo sat twice, right?
Well, he got healthy scratch the first game, and the second game, he had a family issue. I think his family passed away, so he had a 10 family matters. So that's where he was the second game in Arizona. So I don't know when he'll
Well, was
return, but
was he scratched because of his play, or is the
I
first game?
believe so. I
or-
believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he was a healthy scratch, and then. Yep.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's been the this part that sucks the most is like their defense, which was supposed to be the best part of the team, has been awful. So,
Yeah, and it kind of sucks to watch the Flyers because you watch to see them win. So I turn them on wanting them to win, but also knowing that it's just they're not good enough. So
yeah.
not that you're rooting for them. I'm never going to root for them to lose, but it's kind of just a double-edged sword, you know?
Yeah, I just want to see good competitive hockey at this point.
Yeah.
This year's about building a culture with John Tortorella, and then maybe in the offseason you get a new general manager in here because I don't think Chuck Fletcher will be the general manager in the offseason. So you get a new general manager in, maybe you do something with the roster to better the lineup, and then you build the culture that you build off of the culture that you built this year and move it in the next year, and hopefully next year you have something.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right, you guys ready to get out of here? You guys got anything else you want to talk about? I guess we go ahead.
Quick, I just want to talk about. Did you guys see Stetson Bennett? He's Georgia's quarterback.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you see that him and Lamar Jackson were both born the same year?
I saw.
Yeah.
This. Yeah.
And he's
He's younger, isn't he? Jackson? Isn't Lamar Jackson technically younger?
Yeah, and I think he's in his 6th year at Georgia, and he just got he came in 4th place for the Heisman, but I just think it's pretty funny that he's going to take his team to they're going to win the national championship again, and that dude is Lamar Jackson's age.
Yeah. I got a question for you real quick. Go ahead.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Did Kyler Murray get hurt? Because Colt
He
McCoy
did.
is playing for the Cardinals.
Yep, I think he tore his
boy.
ACL.
Really?
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
and
I hate
also
that, man.
I just got an
went-
update about Colt McCoy, and I was like, "What? What's going on?"
I
I didn't even
went
know
in-
he's still in the league. But sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
Go ahead. You're fine.
I went into this game in fantasy up by 3, and I had Ramondre Stevenson, and he's also out of the game in the first quarter.
Really?
Oh no.
I'm currently losing because the guy I'm playing has Nick Folk.
Uh
So you need a couple of missed field goals or something to happen.
Yep.
It's bad. It's tough. It's a tough loss.
Yep.
not to I know we're trying to wind down here
No, you're
towards
good.
the end of the episode, but I wanted to ask Chris, what does the quarterback situation look like coming into the draft this year?
Not great.
I was gonna say, who do you think is Caleb Williams the top guy?
Caleb Williams, I think he's a freshman, true freshman. He can't come out.
Caleb Williams?
Yeah, the dude from USC.
I thought he played with Oklahoma. He transferred with Riley
From
to
USC.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think he's eligible to come out, Don.
Oh, that's what I thought. I saw a video that he was at Oklahoma with Riley and transferred over to
I
USC.
think he might have been. Well, remember, he was at Oklahoma, Riley, up until the playoffs last year. He could have recruited him to. Let me see.
No, I saw a video of him. I don't know. I guess didn't he come for who was the Oklahoma quarterback last year?
He's a sophomore. He can't come out.
Okay,
Yet.
Yeah, he comes out. He comes
Okay.
out next year, 2024.
next year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the Oklahoma quarterback last year? They sat him.
Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler. They sat him, and I think Williams came in,
Yeah.
and then he transferred to USC with Riley. For some reason, I thought he was coming out this year. I don't know why.
No, the number one's going to be Ohio State's quarterback, Stroud.
Yeah.
He'll be the number one guy. And then you got kid Bryce Young. He'll be up there. And Will Levis will also be up there from Kentucky.
Yeah.
And then I think the kid from North Carolina is having a really good year this year. But I just don't trust North Carolina quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Trubisky,
You know, like Nick Trubisky?
Trubisky, Jacoby Brissett.
Danny Dimes was it?
He was
wasn't
South
he in North
Carolina, isn't he?
No, Brissett's North Carolina State.
Isn't Danny Dimes
okay.
North Carolina?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Danny Dimes. And then that kid from Clemson, that Uchi, whatever his last name is, he
Yeah,
was supposed to be the number one guy going in to this year. Like, and he's going to have to transfer now too because he got benched in the ACC championship game.
Really?
So yeah, he already entered the transfer portal, which is another crazy thing with college football. I'm not going to get super into it, but it's basically like free agent signing.
Yeah, I don't love what they've done to college football. Like,
yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, it's like I get what it's there for, but guys aren't using it the way I think it was intended to be used.
The one dude from Mississippi State, like he's transferring, and he literally wrote like, "I'm going to go play somewhere that I'm going to get the ball or something like that." Like you weren't getting the ball here because you couldn't get open. Like that's the reason why.
Dude, and totally off topic, and I know we really don't talk much college football ever. How big of a program or how powerful do you think Colorado's going to be now that Deion's there? I think recruiting, they're going to be off the chart. Like, they're going to just get so many recruits.
Yep, and I think that Deion Sanders is going to have that team like by next year already like a much improved team.
Like you think like college football playoff type level? No,
not next year. I don't think.
But eventually, at some point, even though I know they're talking about moving that to like 16 teams or something crazy.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pro that.
I am too.
I think 16 is too much.
I think
maybe 16 might be too much, but I want to expand it. Like
I honestly think if you win your championship, you should be in the playoffs. Like if you win the Big Ten. If you win the Sky Mountain, if you win the MAC, you should be in.
I agree with that. And people were bringing. We were talking about this at my wedding actually last year, and somebody brought up the idea of like, what if Alabama plays Yale and like Yale wins? I would love that.
Oh, that'd be great. It would never
be
happen.
Unbelievable.
That's the reason why I don't love it is because Alabama would win that game 145-0. Like,
but what if it's like I don't know. Georgia or like just like I don't know Clemson or like I'm just thinking of like a school like in 3 years Clemson or even Georgia isn't as good as like maybe Alabama is a bad example but like a school that goes up and down a lot like I don't know what if they lose to like Yale like that would be a lot of fun like I don't know.
Sure. Oh no, that's what makes the March Madness
like
so
a Baylor.
Special. Sure, no, and that's what makes March Madness so special is all the crazy upsets and like I get you. But I think it's less likely to happen in a football setting than like a basketball setting. I agree. I think the good teams would just dominate and roll over the bad teams more often than not.
I don't disagree with that. I don't know. I think more football isn't a bad thing either. Like I don't watch college football, but I would watch that. Like
yeah,
it opens up a lot more.
Yeah, I just think 16 is too many. Like I could understand expanding from 4, but like 8 I think is probably a good number.
I just don't think you could do it. Like, I think it's either everybody or not doing it all. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't see them say like I can't see them be like, all right, well, 10 of the conferences get in, but like the rest don't.
Yeah.
Well, some conferences
it's all about
are better.
money.
Some conferences are better than the others.
Yeah, but it's all about money though.
Well,
it's all about money.
You know what I was just thinking? Because you said how big is Deion Sanders going to get Colorado? I don't know because the Pac-12 is going to lose like a lot of juice because USC and UCLA are going over to the Big Ten.
Yeah.
It's like how much? Like who's your big teams there? Oregon, Stanford,
Hawaii.
No. Yeah. Hawaii's in the
Oregon
West. Yeah. Washington State. Like that's your teams. So. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's Oregon, Stanford, and yeah.
They were saying if Deion would have held out, he could have probably got a better coaching position somewhere else.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would think so. But
I just love that he goes in there and he's like, "My son's the starting quarterback, so if you need a transfer."
Well, he did say after that. He did say, "Well, he's got to earn it."
Yeah, sure.
I love that reaction. Is his son any good? Like, is he like a good legit prospect?
Yeah, he's good for. I mean, Jacksonville State, but whatever that is.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
I mean, he's going to Colorado, not Alabama or like Georgia.
Sure,
you know.
Yeah, that's fair. But
I think when
still gotta earn it.
when Arch Manning comes up,
Yeah.
I think they're going to be in the SEC, right?
See, yeah, Texas is moving to the SEC.
Yeah,
Are they really?
Yep.
They're gonna get
Yeah.
fucking destroyed in the SEC. They
not with
stink.
Arch Manning,
I mean,
dude. It's
one
another
guy.
like 2-3 years away.
Sure. Yeah, I get.
So they have time to
He's
build.
that far away.
He's a junior in
He's
high
that
school, I
young.
think.
Okay.
He's going to redshirt. He might be a senior. He's going to redshirt his first year, though. I think
Yeah.
his first year is going to be the first year that they're in the SEC. I think it's 2024 or 25.
Texas isn't what they used to be. Like, I think they'll get rolled in the SEC.
Yeah, but it's hard to say that 3
Sure,
years from now.
yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I get you. Because different things can happen, and if he's going there, maybe recruitment's better. People want to play with him. Like, I get
Yeah.
you.
Like, if it's next year, if he comes out next year and he's starting next year and they go to the SEC, yeah, sure. But, that's the thing. It's like, oh, Arch Manning is coming in 2024 or whatever, 2025, whatever it is. I know if I was a player, I'd be like, oh, I'd consider Texas if they offer. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
you know?
Yep, absolutely. Oh, you guys ready to get out of here?
Yeah. We really ran this one up.
We did, but hey, listen, I love talking sports every week with you guys, so it's it's totally fine. We could do this all night if I didn't have to wake up so goddamn early for work.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get out of here.
Just like Sonny says, the working
Yeah.
man's a sucker.
Exactly. We're gonna get out of here, and we will see everybody next Monday. And go Birds.